Hey everyone, welcome to this week's edition of Title Scoop. This week we're going to talk about reverse mortgages. So people do ask sometimes, what is a reverse mortgage? What's so different about it? And it really is just a special kind of loan program. It's for people that are 62 years of age or older, and it allows them to convert the equity in their home into cash. That cash can either be a lump sum or it could be a line of credit, and that's up to the borrower how they do that. They also are sometimes reverse mortgages are termed as home equity conversion mortgages. So if you see that term, it just means it's a reverse mortgage. The interesting thing about these is that no repayment is due until the home that the loan is on is no longer your principal residence. So that could be the person passes away or the person sells the property or conveys it. And at that time, then all the money that has been taken out plus interest and fees would be due. The difference in these also is when you're qualifying for a traditional mortgage, you have to have a debt to income ratio, and a reverse mortgage actually has no income requirements because, again, you're taking the equity out of your home and you're not repaying it until later. You will sometimes see, it used to be that you would see people take these out as just a way to have money every month. Maybe they took a draw every single month. Now you see sometimes where people maybe have a mortgage and they're making the payment monthly and they just want to free that money up. So they take out a reverse mortgage, pay off their mortgage, knowing that when they sell the home later on or after they pass away, their heirs will take care of paying off the mortgage. So those are kind of the key things about how they're structured. Now, when we're underwriting these and looking at these, there's some things we need to look out for. We definitely need to make sure it's a reverse mortgage, so the language will generally be pretty clear on them that they're reverse mortgages. But if you're not sure, reach out to us. We're happy to help. Make sure it also has the future advance language, and that has to be state compliant. So you're going to want to know what your state laws are. If you don't know, again, reach out to us. We're happy to help you look at those and know if it's compliant. But the future advance language is really key. Another thing that you need to know is there's two programs. It's the HUD HECM, which is the HUD Equity Conversion Mortgage, and then the Fannie Mae Homekeeper. So if you see those, again, just making sure that that's listed on the mortgage. Another thing that's a little different about these is when we're insuring them for the amount the lender tells us versus what's on the mortgage. And that's because they actually put an amount on the mortgage that's 150% of either the lending limit or 150% of the appraised value. So it's going to be higher on the mortgage than what we're actually insuring. So you're just going to actually insure for whatever the lender tells you. The other thing is you're going to want to make sure your closers are verifying the age. It's very, very important that the borrower is 62 years of age or older. Now, a spouse maybe isn't, and if that's the case, you're still going to want to make sure you probably get with us and get with the lender to verify that that's okay. But we may need to change something on the endorsement if, in fact, someone is borrowing and is not 62. And the other thing to note is that could invalidate the mortgage. So big red flag if anyone is not 62 doing a reverse mortgage. If you get a request for a power of attorney, that's another thing you're going to want to look out for. Make sure you get with us immediately and the lender. We need lender approval, but we also are probably going to need extra information because, again, we're saying that that mortgage is being signed by someone who is 62 years of age or older. So again, power of attorney is something that we'd probably need some additional information. Now, the way these are set up is a little bit interesting. They generally have two mortgages. One is for the reverse lender who's giving the money, and then one is HUD. And the reason for that is actually a protection to the consumer. And what that is if for some reason that first lender goes out of business, becomes defunct, and the person is trying to draw money, they actually still can because the second mortgage from HUD converts and basically takes over, and it allows for people to continue with their reverse mortgage payments. So it's a nice protection, honestly, for the consumer. And generally speaking, both spouses are going to have to sign no matter what on these. So just be prepared that that's going to be a lender requirement and an underwriter requirement. So when you have these, the other thing is we're usually going to be asked for an ALTA 14.3. And these are only for reverse mortgages. So you're not going to be issuing this endorsement anywhere else other than for reverse mortgages. And there's two different ones currently. One's the 14.3-06, which is for the 06 policy, and then the 14.3, which is for the new 21 forms. So just make sure you issue the right one. And the biggest key on the endorsement is that it is actually insuring against the failure of the mortgagor to be at least 62 years of age. So again, going back to, we got to make sure the person is 62 who's signing it. There's a lot of other protections in it, and you can read through it. I'm not going to read through the endorsement because I think we would all probably fall asleep, but read through it. If you have questions, definitely let me know. The other thing to note is they do have some exclusions in there, and those are just that they can't take advances after bankruptcy, real estate taxes and assessments, federal tax liens that are filed more than 45 days before the advance, federal or state environmental protection liens, and then usury or consumer credit protection or truth in lending law. So those are things that are excluded from the coverage. So with that, that is everything for reverse mortgages. If you guys have other questions, let me know. I know that was quick, but hopefully you learned a little something. We'll see you next week.